So there's a voice that crackles over the Cairo radio, and it says De Lesseps, which is a code word. And the Suez Canal is going to change hands. And so the world's trade route just became this stage for high drama. I'm Matt Hasquin. I'm a high school history teacher, and I'm taking you word by word, lyric by lyric, through Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire from 1989. And so I want to take you now to Nasser. We're on the line that starts with Joseph Stalin. So the way the story works here is Egypt in the early 1950s is a country that's kind of in a hurry. There's a sense of urgency, and there's a group known as the Free Officers, and they overthrow King Farouk in 1952. And by 1954, Gamal Abdel Nasser is the power at the center of everything. His dream is an Aswan high dam, and that way they can control the Nile and electrify Egypt. When the United States and Britain pull funding in July of 1956, Nasser answers on July 26th, and he says, we're going to nationalize the Suez Canal Company, and we're going to use tolls to fund the building of the dam. Now, London and Paris are just outraged. In secret, Britain and France and Israel cut a deal. It's the Sèvres plan that Israel will strike the Sinai, and Britain and France will intervene as peacekeepers and seize the canal. Now, in late October of 1956, Israeli forces move. Anglo-French planes bomb Egyptian airfields. And then comes the twist. President Eisenhower says no. And with markets wobbling and the UN pressing and pressuring, Washington forces its allies to back down. And by early 1957, foreign forces withdraw, a UN force deploys. Nasser, who's a little battered but unbowed, stands as a folk hero, a symbol of post-colonial self-assertion in a television age. But this isn't a one-note kind of story, because Nasser builds Voice of the Arabs radio. He champions pan-Arab nationalism. He tries non-alignment and briefly forms the United Arab Republic with Syria, which lasted from 1958 to 1961. He modernizes and centralizes Egypt, and there's real gains and there's real limits. But in 1956, the sound that carries is a leader turning a canal effectively into a microphone. So why does this matter? Well, Nasser marks the end of an uneasy empire and the rise of media-savvy nationalism. The Suez Crisis reshapes alliances, right? A rare U.S.-Europe split, right? And it fuels the non-aligned path. It proves global power can be checked by public opinion, the markets, and the UN, and not just guns, right? So if we want to tie this back to the song, when Billy Joel sings Nasser, he's kind of pinning a flag on 1956. Sovereignty's in the spotlight, and it's live on radio and TV. So, if the what if game here, right? What if you ran the Suez Canal in 1956? Would you have nationalized it? Why would you have? Why not? And hey, leave a comment as to what your take is, and I'll complete this next line, and we'll talk about Prokofiev. So thank you so much for watching.